Om Shri Sai Ram. Thank you, sisters and brothers for joining. We have 11 participants. Okay, we will start the session, and as people join, let them participate.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we are going to see, about CCDP. Okay, what is CCDP? Why it is important, and how we are going to use it in the classroom. Okay. See, as teachers, whether you are using Vidya Vahini content or otherwise, you go to the classroom fully prepared. Right? You have your own preparation. Okay. You would read through the chapter. You may make some notes. You will do some preparation. So, I mean, I don't think you all walk into the classroom, pick up a textbook from a student, and start reading from the textbook. Okay, that is what happens in many of the schools, and that is not really a teaching. Okay, and this is this is a situation where the teacher is completely not prepared. Right? Whereas we are looking at a situation where the teacher puts in effort, teacher prepares herself or himself to deliver in the classroom. You know the chapter that you are going to take in the next couple of days. So currently you are working on some chapter. Next, you know what is the chapter. Even if you have been teaching that subject, teaching that grade for the last couple of years, still before you take up the chapter, you would go through the textbook. If you are a veteran teacher, you may have some notes from the previous years where you could have noted down some interesting aside which you have observed somewhere or which you have read somewhere. You may come up with your own examples, or you as you read a newspaper, you may have noticed something which could add value to the chapter what you're going to teach. So this way you have also accumulated certain material which will support you in the classroom delivery. With Vidya Vahini, what happens is that you don't really have to go and search. That job of searching and getting information for you to present is done by a team of volunteers who have gone through various sources, various reference sites, and they have collected material and put together the master lesson plan for you. But still, you need to prepare yourself. The classroom content delivery planner, what we call CCDP, is just a document that helps you to prepare yourself for the classroom. Any questions so far? Yes, brother. Hello, sir. Suraj Prathan, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Now I'm able to hear you, but whatever you have discussed, I could not hear anything.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Basically, no problem, no problem. See, essentially, when you go to the classroom and when you are, which grade do you teach, brother? And which subject?
Sir, I teach from class 4 to class 6. I'm teaching science currently.
Very good, brother. Okay. uh, let's take grade 5 science you are teaching, and uh, currently you are teaching one chapter, which will get over, let's say, tomorrow, and on Wednesday or Thursday, you will be starting a new chapter, right? And for that chapter, you would normally prepare yourself. Okay. Uh, Even if you are not able to use Vidyavahini material or anything, you would at least go through the textbook and you will prepare yourself. Right? If there are some videos that are given, right, or you will try to find some more videos, some explanation what is there in the textbook. If that is not sufficient according to you, you will try to get some better information or better video. If there are any pictures which are given there, you will try to uh, go through that picture, let's say some parts of the flower or something, the plants of the plant, leaf, anything, right? You will try to find out more about that information. Basically, you are preparing yourself for the classroom. You don't want to be going to the classroom and reading from the textbook, right? CCDP, that is Classroom Content Delivery Planner, is a simple tool, a sheet, a spreadsheet that helps you to plan yourself for the classroom. Right? You're able to hear me now?
Yes, sir. It's clear also, sir. I'm understanding.
Okay, good. Uh, so, so basically, what we're saying is that, okay, especially like people like you. I mean, no teacher takes only one grade. You normally take 2-3 grades. And some of you may even take more than one subject also. When you get into the class, you don't want to be thinking, what should I teach for the next 40 minutes, right? That 40 minutes or 45 minutes is a crucial period. You don't want to be in the classroom and searching for what to teach in this period now, right? So you want yourself to be fully prepared. You know, from your past experience, places where children normally face difficulty, and you want to bring more examples. It may or may not be given in the textbook, but you want to prepare yourself, right? Even when you use Vidyavahini content, you want to maintain a flow. You want to maintain, bring in your content, your material, your ideas, so that when you deliver it seamlessly and the children actively engage with you. That is the idea. Okay. So let us take one chapter and let's see how we are going to prepare the CCDP document for this. Okay. I'm in the learning management system. I am in CBSE grade 6 social science. I have taken the Earth in the solar system, right? So I have one MLP and I also have the CCDP. Okay, let me open the MLP. You're able to see the MLP?
Yes, brother.
So when as a teacher, I go through the MLP. Okay, this is the objective of the asset. Okay, so this is solar system. Okay, it explains what a solar system is. It's a main script. Okay, so there are some drawings. There are some examples for satellites and comets. Okay, so when I start reading about comet or asteroid, probably I am reminded of some news item, something that happened in the recent past, like, the last month, the last 1 or 2 months, some event, some comet which came very close by to the Earth, something like that, some news item, right? which a textbook cannot bring, even a Vidyavahini content cannot bring, but you have noticed something, either in the news, newspaper, TV, somewhere you noticed, right? So, okay, now you want to bring that to the attention of the students, because uh, students also would have read it, right? So you want to make a connection to that. So immediately you note down something about that, right? Then we talk about solar family. Okay, then this way you keep going through the master lesson plan. You also have the textbook as reference, and with both of this you prepare yourself, right? Now you have understood what needs to be delivered in the classroom. Okay, that's the first step. Next step is that actual delivery, right? So when you are actually delivering it, okay, there are things you would like to do in the classroom. Okay. Now, how do you prepare yourself? So then once you have gone through, you come into the CCDP. Let me slightly make it big so that we can. Okay, are you able to see that?
Yes, brother, we are able.
Okay. So now we are looking at the CCDP for this chapter. Now, when you click on the CCDP in LMS, it downloads the Excel sheet, and this Excel sheet already has all the assets from the MLP listed. Okay, and it also tells you what is the asset type. Okay? And these are listed in the same order in which the assets appear in the MLP. Okay. So now okay, this is what is required. Okay, this is what is available in the system. And we also tell you what is the duration time. Okay. Okay, this main scripts, MS Solar System, is 15 minutes, because we saw it talks about uh, all the planets, some information about the planet. It talks about the sun, planets, and the asteroids and meteoroids and everything it talks about, right? So you will need 15 minutes time to speak about this, in the classroom, right? Then let us look at the columns that you need to fill in. Okay, the first thing is that plan to use. Okay, this column basically is your decision whether you are planning on using it on which date, right? So let's say if you have grade 5 grade 6 social science on let's say Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday, and you are starting the chapter on Wednesday, right? Then you will need to plan how you are going to distribute these assets. And let's also say theoretically, this particular chapter you have to finish in 4 periods. So you will start it on Wednesday, next period is on Thursday, the third period is on Monday. So the fourth period will be again on Wednesday. So by the following Wednesday, you are supposed to complete the chapter. Let's say 4 periods is the time you allocated for this particular chapter, right? So here, then you are going to make a mention on when are you planning to use this, right? And what kind of preparation is required. Okay. Now, if it is PPT, okay, well, good thing is that your school has got, projector in all the classroom. Not every school has got facility to project in every classroom. In some cases, you kind of share the multimedia room, because there may be only 1 or 2 rooms with the projector facility. In that case, you are sharing it. then you will be planning which day and which time slot, that is which period you are going to use that, because there is good video. I mean, even if you are not able to use the PPT, you want to use at least the video in the classroom, right? So you will mention when that is going to happen. So why are you planning it? Because if you need to use a multimedia room, and if you don't have in every single classroom, then you need to talk to other teachers or principal or somebody who coordinates it for you, so that you block that day, that time for your this particular chapter, right? And then you also have to gather the children to go to that particular room. Okay, so that is why you need to plan. Okay. Then other one is a printed image. In some cases, especially like solar system, a school may have a chart, uh, a big size chart, which depicts all the planets and their relative sizes to the sun, and the distances and their elliptical paths and things like that, right? If you are not able to use a PPT to show that, you may like to use the chart. Again, the school will not have every single chart available at every single classroom. You may have, if you talk about the solar system, the school may at best have one or two charts. If another class, another teacher wants to use the chart on the same day, then you need to plan, right? So you, by planning this, you are already letting somebody else know that not only you're planning yourself, you're also letting other person know that, okay, see, listen, I need that chart in my class on that day. So from the staff room, you already keep it ready. And in the classroom, you don't search for, or you don't send a boy across to the staff room, go find this chart and ask ma'am to bring it. You don't want to do that. This is planning, right? Similarly, you may also like to get some newspaper clippings, right? So either you have recently seen, or you have seen something quite some time back, and then you made a copy of that. You cut the newspaper and you put it in a folder, preparing yourself for the classroom. Now you have to keep it ready. You don't want to be searching on that particular day, right? So this again is, what is the printed image? When do you want to use it, right? And what kind of image you want to use? Any reference you have, if you want to pick up something from the library and show them, any of that, you are planning on mentioning it here, right? There is one more column which is not there, but you could add, which we are also started working on it now, is that any teaching learning material, right? Anything, I mean, we provide you a PPT or a video, which is basically visual, but what if you are able to get some model to the classroom, right? Let's say, again, when we talk about the, our Earth in the solar system, okay? So in that case, where you, in the chapter where you talk about day and the night, and the solar eclipse and other things, the school may have a model, okay, of a globe, right, which you should be taking into the classroom, right, so that you can demonstrate with the help of, if not a torchlight, at least the light from your mobile, right? You should be able to demonstrate to the children how the shadow falls, and how day and the night are formed, right? Or how the earth is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree. All of this you are going to show. Instead of just reading from the book, you may like to carry some physical TLL. Like for science, when you are talking about anything about the plant, a different kind of plants or shrubs or something like that, you may take a tree branch, or you may take some grass, right? Or if you're talking about something like a seed dispersal, right? So you may like to carry some variety of seeds, and you can see how you can have a discussion with the children how this kind of this seed, how do you think it can be propagated, how it can disperse from one place to another place, right? These are all physical teaching learning materials, and again you need to plan for that, and you can have a add a column here, I mean anywhere, either in the column J or in the column L or something. You can say physical teaching learning material, right? Sometimes for a lower class, you're talking about some vegetables or fruits or something. You may ask the children to bring something from their home, right? Now, when you are teaching it in the classroom, you can't suddenly think of it and ask children, right? You need to give children a couple of days of time. Uh, Again, to say that, let's say, if the Thursday is the time, in the Thursday class, you are going to discuss something, you probably would like to let know the children today itself, saying that children, Thursday, you have to bring this. Okay. So you may tell each child to bring a different thing from home, right? This could be for anything. Like there is a chapter on EVS where we talk about clothing, right? Different kind of clothing, how because of the weather pattern, how our clothing changes, right? So what is that summer wear, what is that winter wear, what do you wear during monsoon, right? Different kind of clothing and different kind of food habits. All of this, you need to prepare yourself. All I'm saying is that you cannot be in the classroom and suddenly think that, oh no, I should have brought this into the classroom. I could have delivered it better, right? So when you are preparing yourself, when you are going through the chapter, preparing yourself to deliver the chapter in that, over the next 4 or 5 periods, you have to be completely prepared. And this is the document that helps you to prepare. So let's come to the next column, mentoring. Mentoring required, yes or no? Okay, what does this column mean? While this is, we are all teaching for classes, junior school up to grade 10. Yes, we also studied these subjects, these chapters, but that was quite some years back. But when we actually teach, even as a teacher, sometimes some concepts we have understood, but we may not necessarily be in a position to articulate to the children, right? See, one is your knowledge, okay? You have somehow understood, but the way you have understood, you are not sure if you explain it that way, whether the children will be able to understand or not. So you may need some support. That is where you fall back, either a senior teacher in your school who teaches the subject, right? Or you fall back on somebody from Vidya Vahini, right? The person who has created the content, or we have got, a large pool of teachers and volunteers. Once you let us know that, okay, this particular asset or this particular activity, so there is one suggested activity, models of planets, right? So it says how you can do the activity in the classroom. You have some doubts. Okay, when you are going through the Vidya Vahini content, when you go through the associated multimedia for that, you have some doubts, right? You want to talk to someone. In that case, you would say, yes, I need mentoring here. So you will say, yes, I need mentoring. Okay, which means the moment you put a why, you need a mentoring, then you are going to either if you have a senior teacher in your school, you could talk to them and get it clarified, or immediately you will let know your principal, and they would in turn try to find somebody from Vidyavahini who could help you. All of this have to happen before you actually go to the classroom. Right? Let me stop here. Any questions, any discussions we can have now? Sairam? Sairam?
Sairam teachers, please respond if you have any doubts, you want some clarifications.
Because I would like all of you to prepare one CCDP of a chapter which we will be delivering either in the coming week or the following. Okay. Let's say if you're starting a chapter tomorrow, it is too short a notice for you to prepare a CCDP. But let's say by Thursday, Friday, if you are going to start a chapter, I would like to see the prepared CCDP. So these columns should have been filled. All these things should have been filled. These things should have been filled. Right? We would like to see your preparation. That is the intent. That is the purpose of this session.
Sir,
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, below there is a textbook planner.
Sorry, sister, I'm not able to hear you clearly, sister.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Below this content, there is another column, sir. There is textbook planner.
Yes, sister. Yes.
Sir, we have to fill this also, sir.
Sister, okay. Textbook delivery planner is essentially if we have left out some aspect from the textbook.
Oh.
Okay, and you find some example given. Okay, for instance, especially something like mathematics, we don't solve all the problem in the textbook. In our Q&A asset, right, questions to assess asset, we do not bring in all the questions from the textbook. You may think that, I mean, as a teacher, you also solve some questions from the textbook, and then you give the rest as a homework for the children to complete, right? You need to plan yourself, right? Even though you are a maths teacher, sometimes you need time to read through a question couple of times before you solve it. You don't want to spend that much time in front of the students in the classroom, right? So you decide which sum you want to pick up, right? So, and you work it out, right? I mean, elementary is still easier. You can always do the elementary problem. So, but when you come to something like a grade 8, grade 9, where the sums become, the mathematics sums become difficult, or even chemistry equations or physics something. Right? So whatever is the textbook, which additionally you want to take it to the classroom, that also you have to plan, because you don't do two different classes. One for teaching what is there in Vidyavahini, then one what is given in the textbook. You are bringing everything together. The textbook, whatever is in the textbook, whatever is provided by Vidyavahini, whatever is your own source of knowledge, your own experience. Probably when you studied in the college, you have got some inputs, some examples, something what your lecturers and professors told you. You have gathered all of that. Like I said, you read newspapers, you watch television, you read reference book. From various sources, you would have collected that. This is a place to bring all of this together, but it should not be, it should be neatly presented, right? It should be something like a pizza. If you know there are topping, you know which topping, which are the topping that will go together, right? You don't bring, just because you have got some toppings, you don't slap everything on top of it, right? So you know what would go well. At the same time, you want to ensure that on one particular concept, you don't spend too much time also. See, the planner is also for that, because when we did the classroom observation during the last 2 years, we observed many teachers have gone beyond the prescribed time for the asset. Like for instance, interesting asset, we normally would say finish it off in uh, 5 minutes max. Like this interesting asset is 5 minutes, another interesting asset is 5 minutes, right? Now, just because it is very interesting for you, and just because you have so much information about that, you cannot be talking on the same topic for 15-20 minutes. Then you obviously will run out of time. You will not be able to cover the chapter, because at the end of the day, your principal will continue to ask you, have you completed the syllabus, right? So if end of term 1, if you have to complete 6 chapters, you should have completed 6 chapters, and there should be time for revision, all of that. There will be tests and things like that. Unless you prepare, right? So even if you want to crack a joke, there's a very good joke which you want to crack the joke, tell the joke in the classroom, then you need to somewhere note it down. Okay, against this asset, or when I'm talking about this concept, I want to tell this joke. Okay, or I want to narrate the story. And when you, unless you prepare yourself, you will not be. To give you an example, real life example, in a particular school, we were doing a training, and we were talking about the art of storytelling. And the person who was delivering the topic, he mentioned all the points, right? When you narrate a story, you should know how the sequence goes. You should know the characters of the story. You should know the twist in the story. You should know where the story ends, and you'll be able to highlight what is the critical thing in the story, why you are telling the story. That is moral of the story kind of thing. But what has happened, to explain, he started telling a story and he forgot the story. He forgot the characters of the story. So suddenly the enemy became the the sun and something like that. He kind of messed up the story, right? And then he tried to recover. So what he should have completed in 20 minutes, he dragged it for 40 minutes. Right? Now, you don't want that to happen to you in the classroom, right? You want to bring in all the knowledge into the classroom, but you should deliver it in a proper way. So how do you do it? You have to prepare. So even if you're going to sing a song, right? Either you have created a song or you heard a song, right? And that song beautifully kind of goes with the chapter, okay? But then you should know something about the song. At least you should know that 4 or 5 lines of the song that resonates with the chapter. You cannot be coming into the classroom and asking the children, I actually thought of a very good song. I'm not able to recall. No, that is no good to anyone, right? So that's what you are trying to do here, planning everything. So textbook delivery planner is something which is not covered in the text in the MLP, but you have identified from a textbook and you want to bring it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, brother.
Yes, sir. I I have a kind of query regarding this plan to use. A little bit of confusion over there. So
Yes.
what is like this column, like, are we supposed to
It's
which
a
day?
date, sir. It's a date, sir.
Yes, sir. Which day, which period, how many periods do we have to mention that, sir?
No, no. See, you don't have to mention how many period, because each asset is only less than one period gap, right?
Yes.
See, like if you look at this entire chapter is for it's close to 2 hours. Okay, it comes to
Yes.
111 minutes. So it's something like 2 hours, right? 2 hours again would be 3 into 40 minutes. Okay, 120 minutes. Okay, so this chapter will be completed in 3 periods. If you are going to deliver in 3 periods, you should know what are the things. See, even if you're just forget about Vidyavahini, even if you take a textbook, right, you should know, or you will know from which part to which part you are going to deliver in that 40-minute period.
Yes.
Is it not?
Yes.
Right? So you will plan it in such a way, you will not start a topic within the chapter which you think you cannot complete. Right? You do see in the classroom, some teachers would start something, they will start writing on the board, and the bell will ring, and the teacher will say, okay, children, we will do this in the next period, right? That is because the teacher did not calibrate the timing, right? The teacher did not anticipate. And again, when you go to the classroom, if the period is for 40 minutes, you don't pack yourself for 40 minutes, right? Because you need time for interaction, right? And there could be some disruption, not in every period, but something, right? Some circular may come, somebody from principal's office may come with a circular, right? Or some child needs some attention, right? There could be disruptions. So while you want to fully utilize the 40 minutes, and again, 40 minutes also is a time after the bell, you have to walk from your classroom, the current classroom, to the next classroom, right? You, depending on the distance, depending on the floor, you may lose some 4-5 minutes. So while we talk about 40 minutes, you probably end up getting 30 to 35 minutes max, right? So you
Yes.
are going to see what is best you can do in that 35 minutes, right? So then you will pick up something. If something, especially mathematics kind of a thing, or any model, if you are showing some experiment, you don't want to leave it halfway through, right? So then you will plan, okay, today I will explain the concepts to them, okay? Then the next period I will fully utilize for the demonstration. Okay. So because whenever you do a demonstration, which means you have to carry something and you have to take it to the classroom, you have to set it up, then you have to take it back to the lab or staff room or wherever you have to return it. There are activities to be done before and after, right? So you want to plan all of them. So here, that is what we are saying, plan to use is the day on which you are planning to use. Let's say then you will say probably these 4 assets, okay, that becomes 30 minutes. Okay, so I will just use these 4 assets on Wednesday. Okay, the main script, the IQ asset, the third asset MS Planet, and the 4th asset, the interesting asset. Because you will also have some questions, children may have some questions, right? So this 30 minutes is good enough for you, because you need 5 minutes for interaction. You may like to draw something on the board, or you may have a picture or a poster, or from the school, you are going to put it on the class, a chart, you are going to put it on the class, and probably you may call each child to come and tell, like, show me where is Mars, show me where is Venus, where is Uranus, right? You may like to ask children different questions. You need time for that, right? So you would say, okay, these 4 assets I'm going to use on Wednesday, right? So if you have to bring something to the classroom, okay, then you may also have to mention the period, right? Which period you are going to use. Otherwise, it's not necessary. But at least you should know the date on which you are going to use these assets. Did I clarify? Hello?
One question.
Yes, yes.
Like, can we have a kind of CCDP field which is already filled so as to refer if it is possible? Like
I can share it, but I would like you all to start, right? See,
Yes, sir.
whatever you have understood from this, right?
Okay.
For the next chapter, what you are going to deliver, see, there is nothing wrong, okay? See, it isn't, that's what I'm telling you. Even today, even though you are not filling a CCDP, there is some planning that happens in your head. You are mentally planning something, right?
So
If a textbook has got some 20 pages, you know, these 3 or 4 pages I can cover in a period today.
Exactly, sir.
Right? And additionally, what we are saying is that traditionally you would have just gone to the classroom, used the board only. Okay. Now you also have a projector, a smart classroom. Then you need to decide what you want to show, right? Especially when you have PowerPoint, right? You want to see them once yourself so that you know where all you can ask questions, right?
So we do planning.
Right? Absolutely, right? So you prepare. I will also try to get you one which is filled in, but
Yes.
unless you are from that particular chapter, right? Unless you deal with the chapter, you will not know.
So just for a reference.
Yeah. I will give you, but it will not make much sense to you because see, right now I am using an example of solar system from grade 6. If you are from mathematics or if you are from science or English stream, this does not help you, excepting to say how do you go about filling that sheet, right? I will get you a sheet. I will get you a completed CCDP, but
Yes.
this is how you go about filling it. Any other questions?
Sairam, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I'm quite confused in mentoring. So what we have to fill here?
Which column, ma'am?
So mentoring, yes. Why? Yes or no? I think it's there.
Okay.
When you were explaining this, so there was
Okay.
quite a network issue, so I couldn't hear you clearly.
No problem. Ma'am, mentoring is if you need any help. Okay. Let's say again, I use that example of the suggested activities. Okay. It is okay, when you go through the suggested activities in the MLP, you have some doubts. Okay. You have some questions. You need some additional information. You think that whether you have thought of something, whether you can do that instead of what is given in Vidyavahini. You have all these questions, right? So you need to talk to somebody, okay? Now that somebody can be a senior teacher from your own school, or it could be a resource from Vidyavahini, right? If you have to, even if you have to catch hold of some senior teacher from your school, you cannot catch the teacher when you are in the classroom transacting the activity, right? So you need to, when you prepare yourself, when you read through the suggested activity, you decide, yes, there is something here which is kind of confusing for me. If it is confusing for me, how am I going to explain to the children? I need help, right? So you note down there, okay, what is that you want help, right? So once you mark it there, right, it is just not saying yes or no. You could even write what you don't understand also, you can just note it down. Sister, it is like this. When you are reading it, you normally take notes on a notebook or somewhere, right? Saying that
Yes.
even when you were studying in the college and all, you would have noted something. Okay, this is something which I not very clear to me. I need to ask the faculty, ask the professor. That way, you are noting it down something, right?
Yes.
So rest of the things, most of the things are very clear to you. You don't need any support. Then it is no, no, no. Only where you put a S, where you think you need some more support to help you clarify, you are going to say mentoring here. Any other
Thank you.
questions? Saram. Robin, brother, any?
Brother, should we add the column of TLM?
Yes, brother, you can
Uh,
add. Yes,
yeah, I think
because
that would
these
be
were created earlier. These were not there. You can add a
Okay.
TLM either in column L or you can insert a column next to I. Between I and
Okay.
J, you can anything, brother.
Okay. So teachers, please make a note of this. We will add TLMs
Yes.
and then
If you
accordingly.
notice, like we have started adding TLMs. So you can see not for all the chapters.
Yes.
We are slowly adding it. So you can see teaching learning material, right? And it
Yes.
also explains what is teaching learning material, what kind of questions you will have. And then specifically for this particular chapter, Earth and the solar system, we have, okay, so we are explaining, okay, the first is a concept. The stars are visible during the night, but not in the daytime due to the brightness of sun's light, right? So see, this is a question children normally would have, right? If if sun also is a star and there are so many stars, okay, billions and billions of stars, I'm able to see them in the night time. Why am I not able to see them in the daytime, right? Either the child could ask or you should ask the children why you are not able to see this uh, different stars, right? I mean, some of the stars are very bright, like, normally you could see the Jupiter is normally visible, by 5 o'clock or something in the evening itself, you can start seeing Jupiter, right? Now, if you're going to explain the concept, right? One is that you can keep talking like I am doing for the last 40 minutes, right? You may or may not understand. But if you're going to carry some teaching learning material to the classroom, so here it's a simple thing, large foolscap paper, a torchlight, a needle, right? So the teacher makes holes on the paper using a needle. The paper is wrapped around the torch with the perforated portion covering its glass surface. So basically, the glass portion of the torch from where the light comes out, you are going to cover it with the paper with small holes poked on it so that it is not fully visible, right? Then the teacher closes the doors and windows of the classroom to make it dark. Then when you switch the light on, you are going to see small rays of lights, right? That is stars. But the moment you open one or two windows or the door, the ambience light is so bright, which is the light of the sun, right? This light kind of is not visible, right? So this will take you 1 or 2 minutes, right, in the classroom to explain, but it is so powerful. What otherwise you would have spoken for 15-20 minutes, with this activity, children will understand. And many of these are so simple. The children also will try to do this at home and they will come up with a whole lot of questions, right? They will understand it themselves. They will come and ask why it is not happening this way, why it is. And another day I saw something like that, right? Why that way? It kindles the curiosity of the children. So we have given you TLMs, right? Earlier we did not have the TLMs. Okay, so right now we are creating it, so it is all appearing separately. Whatever content we are creating now for grade 9 and 10, we are integrating TLMs. So as you are going through the lesson, if you in the LMS, if you see the section called TLM, okay. If you see something called TLM, so please go through that and see which TLM you want to use. Right, we may have given some 3-4 TLMs. It may not be possible for you to use all the TLMs what you have given you. So you may like to do 1 or 2 out of that for that particular chapter. Then you decide when you want to use it. Right? It could be anything, any TLM you can imagine. Like for instance, again in junior grades, when you move from a 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional, let's say, okay, you teach the children about square, rectangle, circle, and all, right? And little later you move to 3-dimensional. As long as it is 2-dimensional, you are even able to write on the board. Okay, draw on the board, right? Once it becomes 3-dimensional, you start explaining cube, cuboid, or rhombus, or pyramid, or cone, right? It becomes very difficult. It's an abstract concept for you to explain verbally, and you may not be able to draw it in 3-dimensional on a board, right? What would you do? Best thing is to carry something. If nothing, a small soap box or a match box, right? If you look in the classroom, you will find variety of shapes, right? Right from the windows, the doors, to the iron bar on the windows, to the tube light in the classroom, right? Or the center portion of the ceiling fan, which is circular, and the pipe, that is the rod that is holding, which is cylindrical, right? I mean, you will start getting it. How do you utilize that to explain to children? That is TLM, right? Otherwise, you can always explain a concept of a cube, saying that it has got 6 sides and all the sides are equal, the length and breadth. It's actually 6 squares, same squares put together. It becomes difficult for somebody to visualize. So yes, please go ahead and add a column for TLM.
Yes, sure, brother. So for the next MLP that would be used, teachers will prepare CCDP based on what they have understood today.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Then they will submit directly to you, brother.
You can also take a look at it. We both can get on a call and go through some of this, brother.
Okay, sure. So the teachers will submit it to me, and then once I receive from most of the teachers, all the teachers,
or even if like as you start receiving, we can have a call to do 1 or 2 also. Absolutely no problem.
Yeah, sure, brother, sure.
See, the teacher will keep improvising, right?
Great.
See,
Yes.
once they become champion, then this may not be the format they use. They may add some more columns to their liking,
Yeah.
right? See, like for instance, if they find some interesting videos, right? So they may download those videos, right? Then, okay, they have to download the video. If the video is too long and they want only 17th minute to 21st minute, right? Then they need to, either they know how to edit it, they should edit, or they will need some help from somebody to edit it, okay, or even to download it, right? All of this, if they don't prepare, right, it will not happen in the classroom. So this is a place they will note down that, okay, I have seen this video, I want to show the video against which asset. Okay, against this asset I am going to show, and this asset I am going to teach on next Monday. Okay, so I have got 4-5 days time, but the video is too long. I need to download and I need somebody to clip it. So I need to give time to that person who is going to help me, right? All of this get captured here, brother.
Yes.
So at this point of view, at this point of time, do not be afraid of saying that what if I don't fill something correctly in particular column? It does not matter. You are taking the first step, right? See, for us to even to get this, it took us many years to reach this stage, right? And once we created it, then we realized that we don't have TLM column, right? So we need to add a column for TLM. Okay. So like this, it will keep evolving. So no problem.
Sairam, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
You were talking about the video, like we download, we do that. Do that. So like we have to make a separate column for that, or can we just
No.
include that?
Yeah, you can add
Yes,
it in the same
yeah.
PPT column, brother. See, brother, this is again for you to deliver in the classroom, right?
Yes.
So whatever is convenient, wherever you want to write it down, you write it down. See, that's what I said. You normally may write down in a notebook, right? Then it may not be in a structured way. If you put it in a particular structure, it will help you not only this year, next year, or anybody. Anytime you want to revise also, you have, okay, there is a video. Okay, last year I saw one video, I showed one video. I don't know where it is, right? Now, if you note down that video URL, or if you download it and put it in your folder somewhere in your thing, you will note it down, brother. It can come into column H, right? PPT media video column.
We can just upload. We can just put the URL over there, sir.
See, you
Instead
can,
of
no, brother, you can put a URL, right? But the thing is that if you don't have internet in the classroom, you will not be able to show it online, right? So
yes, sir.
sometimes
No, actually
you,
we can download those videos, and just to keep a record,
yes,
can't we
brother.
just put the
Yes,
URL
brother.
over there?
Yes, sir. Whatever helps you, right? Not for this
Yes.
particular period, even if tomorrow, if somebody else asks for it, right?
So we can.
So how do you
we-
tell? Like, you can't just tell people, okay, go search in Google, you'll find, I know there is a video, but when you search for a concept, there could be hundreds of videos. You do not know which video you used it, which video was very appropriate, right? Some of the videos, the language, maybe a thick accent or something, it may not be, children may not be able to understand and things like that. So you would have agreed upon, you would have decided on some video, right? Yes, it's a good practice to put the URL here, right? And also you should note down the duration, right? If you're going to show a video in the classroom, let's take practically what all we need. First thing is that you may or may not have a projector in the classroom. Okay, assuming you have a projector, then to run a video, there will also, you need to have audio. Most of the projectors, the audio that comes with the projector is not really good. So in many other places, if there is a video which is an accompanying audio, and you think the audio is good in the sense it is useful, right? If it is just a background music, you don't need it. But let's say we take something like a tribal art form or something like that, or if you're taking a speech delivered by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, or a speech by one of the leader, in that case, the video needs to accompany audio also, right? Rather, the audio needs to accompany the video, right? In that case, you need to plan to get something, some kind of speaker in the classroom, which will enable the children to listen to that, right?
So by this, we have a very beautiful audio. It's very nice.
Correct.
We are thankful.
That's what I'm saying. What this is, see, every classroom, every school may not be blessed that way, right? So, and again, when you are playing a video, the video could be just 3 minutes, but you don't just play the video and switch off, right? The video will follow, right? So rather, a question answer session will follow the video. You may prepare some questions, right? If even if the children do not come up with the questions, You don't just want to ask them that children, hope you enjoy the video. It's not a movie, right? It is something you want to probe the children. You want to have a meaningful discussion. So you may, if there are no questions from the children, you may like to ask some questions to probe them. What did you see that? Did you notice that? Then some child will say, yes, sir. Then you are going to ask him, what did you notice? Why do you think that happened? Right? Now, that may need another 3 to 4 minutes of discussion. So a video could be just 3 minutes. Right? But because you are playing the video in the classroom, you need some, let's say, setup time of 1 or 2 minutes, actual runtime of the video for 3 minutes, and then probably another 2 to 3 minutes for discussion. Right?
Sometimes we ask in the middle of the
Correct. Right? So if you are not planning for all of this, you are in trouble. Right? What does this sheet help you? This sheet helps you to put all of that. Okay. Are there any other questions?
So then what is it actually used in the last column? Number 8.
Okay.
Column 8.
Column K is when did you actually use it? You plan to use it on one date, that is G, right? You actually used it on either the same day you used or something happened. You had to use it on another day, right? See, why you have that column is that next time when you plan, it helps you, right?
Yes.
Like I said, you can do these 4 videos, 4 assets, the 15 minutes plus 5 minutes. So 30 minutes, I'm telling you when planning that, okay, these 4 assets can be transacted in one period. But it so happened, let's say this 15 minutes actually extended to 25 minutes because there is a lot of interaction. There were a lot of questions, right? So what happened? This asset, the last 2 assets, could not be delivered in the classroom. So everything gets pushed by 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
See, I mean, in a classroom, once the bell rings, then you have to get out of the classroom, right? You don't have a choice. Okay. So when you know that, okay, there are questions that happen, there are a lot more interaction, or you may, something must have happened. So you want to keep that in mind next time when you plan, saying that, okay, actually, it cannot be done in 15 minutes. I need 25 minutes. Okay. So this becomes your own learning, your own repository. So next time when you do it, you know how to plan it even better. Yeah. Any other question? Robin, brother, anything from your
Yeah,
side?
brother. Yeah, brother. I think, yeah, it's very clear, brother. So as and when we start using this CCDP based on what we've understood today, I think we will start getting, more questions, and then
Yes,
it becomes more
yeah,
clearer.
yeah. So let every teacher
Yes,
start
brother.
preparing with whatever is their understanding, right?
Sure,
So let
sure.
them start preparing it. And once they prepare, then we can have a call to review that, right?
Yes, sure, sure, brother.
And see, the best part would be when they actually prepare it and they use it in the classroom, then they will realize that, okay, that something requires little more planning, right? Those are the learning that will happen.
Yes, brother.
Okay. So we will close the session.
Yes, brother.
Okay. Om
Om
Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you all.